Okay, that was Giga Shadow, picture number 4 in the Lexx pilot cycle. And that was directed by Robert Ziegel. Robert Ziegel is from Munich. And in case you didn't assume this from the show, Robert Ziegel is a very unique human being.
Very unique guy. He's, you talk about enthusiasm.
Hey.
He would take us, you know, I mean, if he were directing, if Robert Ziegel were directing like a supper scene with like a mom and dad and a kid having supper, it would not be an ordinary supper scene.
It would be absolutely the most dynamic scene. You would have the father with stuff erupting out of him, and then the mother hacking the bird to pieces on the thing, and there's the boy crying with the candles burning as they're flickering up his eye. You know, I mean, he gets kind of wound up a little bit.
But enthusiasm?
That's the alarm signal, and then he has that little rock. This. And he had a long pipe doing this.
It's a Gothic space opera for me. The atmosphere, the visual, the visuality, visual elements, the genre, mystery, horror, science fiction, also the concealed eroticism in it. I like that very much, and the story. The story outlines everything. Characters are very, very unique and completely different to most of the other science fiction films. So this has much more to do with Alien and H.R. Geiger than it has to do with, for instance, Star Trek or Star Wars. Well, actually, it's a little bit strange for me to realize or to grasp the fact that the Americans really seem to have no problem whatsoever with the portrayal of violence, but they shriek back and get frenzied and desperate whenever nudity is portrayed. And this is something that Europeans, that's very hard for Europeans to understand. Actually, the fantasy genre is not very popular in Germany. It is popular whenever it comes from America. Then mass audiences walk into the movie theaters, but they also behave strangely in the film business if German film directors come up with stories like that or try to shoot movies like this. And this is strange and odd because we have a very big tradition in Germany in the silent era. And, well, I'm convinced that it has something to do with the Third Reich and the Nazis expelling and killing off all the creative forces. And it still shows in German cinema, in modern German cinema, the big loss of big artists and big loss of black Jewish humor, for instance. And we have to fight for making our films better and more interesting to the audiences.
Now, the only problem with Robert Ziegel is that he would also get wound up the night before shooting until into the wee hours of the morning. And Robert Ziegel also wanted to become an actor himself. And when we went off to Berlin, of all places, working on the upcoming shows, Robert Ziegel starts putting himself in the show, and you can see him.
Market?
The Giga Shadow must not be! Cut. What? Oh, divine merciful shadow, oh, divine merciful one. So, okay, we start the shot with you moving in.
Yeah.
Joshua saying to Garrett the cleansing is complete. Then they do their lines.
Yeah.
Then you do this off screen, and then they join in the singing.
Okay.
Okay,
And that's it?
Yep.
Great.
Shot so far.
So basically, you don't really need me.
He's just the way we like him. Cute, hairy, and naked. Yeah. Cut.
Bill. And
marker?
No, but he's an auteur. He's a gifted artist.
Yeah.
And I think we were very lucky to have, well, you know, I mean, it's amazing. He survived rumors, or was it no, the studio? He got thrown out.
Well, he got thrown out of a few bars.
But that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's another story.
That happens.
But it was only because
who
his-
hasn't
his enthusiasm.
among us been thrown out of a
Yeah.
couple of bars? So,
Well,
you know.
Okay, and then there was Mikhail Habeck. He made a small role in it, and that's a friend of Robert Siegel's.
yeah.
Harry!
Who
Robert's friend.
who you may recognize from In the Name of the Rose.
Yeah, he played
Yeah.
a monk. So that's it, oddly enough, very good preparation for being a friend of Robert Siegel's.
Yeah.
He's having, you know, spent time in a
Yeah.
monastery with no women. It's good learning. It's sort of a very method
friends.
kind of thing. Good friends.
good,
And he
good
came over
friends.
here and was Feppo
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah. Okay. And also in number 4, what else should we say about it? The other that people might not know. Okay. Time's up. Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell, the great, the legend, the myth, the legend, the spiky white hair. He's great.
He's great.
great.
He's just, you know, I think he had like a couple of weeks, you know, free because a project fell through, I think. And, you know, he just wanted to come and be a part of this thing because, you know, he had like 2 weeks where he wasn't really doing anything. And, but we should see this Clockwork Orange movie sometime.
Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard so. Well, you
sure it's
people
good.
can't see it over there, can you?
No, I
Yeah,
guess it's like banned or something.
Yeah.
Oh, these Canadians are a pain in the ass. I mean, Jesus, I don't know. Whoa, I don't know. I mean, you're asking me what it's like to work here. Can't wait to get home. But don't ask me about plots and stuff like that. All I'm hoping for, and I know this is going to happen, computer boys are going to save us. Special effects are going to be amazing. And that's really what this is about, you know. As long as you like to watch the characters as well, and I think, you know, Michael and Ava are very good actors. You'll really the public will get to like them and know them and stuff. And, you know, I think they'll do a good job and we'll be all right, we'll be saved. You know, it's hard to say what's a good director and what's a good this and that, the other, but I think the main thing is, did you enjoy it? Did you feel you did a good job? I think yes, and I think that everybody else did, and everybody enjoyed it. So that's all you can ask for. I suppose the critics will be the next ones to kill us, you know. At this stage in my life, I don't want to get stuck doing one thing. I want to, you know, do a little bit of this and that, and go and do a film and do a play, and you know, that's the way I keep myself from being bored. And, I played some really exotic characters in my time. I couldn't claim that for Yacht Street, but he's certainly. He's up there somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. I mean, to make an entrance through this is quite something. It looks like an enormous brain or something. It's not the sphincter, is it? Well, that's above it. Something quite disgusting anyway. I wouldn't like it on toast, would you?
I told you smoking was bad for you. I must stop this madness. I must fulfill this prophecy. But teeth are coming out, so never mind.
That's for me to know. And for you to find out. But what is the catch of the day? The fishing in this lake is very good.
I feel like a long prick. I felt like an asshole before. Now I feel like a prick.
We have to say he wasn't the first choice. We wanted Douglas Hurd for the role of the guy with his knife.
Or Maggie Thatcher would have, you know, had that intensity as well.
But you know, talk to their agents. It's like trying to talk to a
Yeah.
brick wall. You know, Douglas Hurd with his.
Well,
he just wants to do French and Saunders, and that's it. We felt that he'd be great, but Malcolm McDowell graciously stepped in
Yeah.
when Douglas couldn't.
Okay, what we should talk about, and what we really want to talk about at the end of this, is not about those pictures, because now you've seen them and can make your own conclusions, but what we would like to talk about is where we are planning to take this opus from this time forward. And our plan is to do a series of 20 hours, and then another 20 hours, and then another 20 hours, and then take over the world. And so we've been writing scripts. And Jeff has written one script that I particularly like called Love Liner. Tell him about Love Liner.
Love Liner is when our heroes find themselves in front of a satellite of ill repute, and they, both being lonely in space and not ever being able to get it on together, they decide to go in and check out the action with hilarious results.
Love Liner blows up, of course.
Of course, everything gets blown up.
Okay, and Lexx is working on something that particularly pertains to the small screen called Laugh Track. Let's get the lowdown on Laugh Track.
Well, in Laugh Track, I think what we can look forward to is
Laughs.
It's laugh. Basically, what happens is that when the Dawn dies, then there's this big power struggle amongst the three sons as to who's going to take over, the olive oil importing business. And
that's the other
move
one.
out to Vegas. That's when they move out
the other
to
show
Vegas.
you're working on. That's the other show you were watching.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, I don't know. Then was this the one
That was
about
called
Terra?
Swims with the Fishes.
Was this the one about Terra?
No.
And the plantation in the Civil War?
It's the planet that's a TV planet.
Oh yeah. There's a planet and there's a TV planet, and they go and they sort of participate in kind of like TV shows and laugh. Actual droplets of urine. I'm laughing right now.
Unfortunately, they land on me.
I have
and that's
bit
the
of
problem.
an incontinent sort of problem, but it's funny.
Funny,
You
dramatic.
talk about
There's action.
Laughs. You laugh. You cry.
Are you not telling them what the story is about?
Okay, so they go to this planet, and Zev becomes. It was sort of like a Westworld kind of thing, like a theme park. It's like you go in and you participate in a show, and the show gets beamed up. Zev becomes very popular.
You can be in your own sitcom
Your own sitcom,
soap
your own soap opera, or whatever.
Antique Roadshow.
Whatever. And Zev becomes very, very popular. She does really, really well. Stan doesn't do so well. And then he ends up on a thing called Specialty Channel, which is
not a good thing.
It's not. You don't want to really go on Specialty Channel. You only make one appearance on Specialty Channel.
It's kind of like old Roman theater, in a way.
Old Roman theater.
Which is not to knock old Romans, because they had some ideas.
Some of our very best friends are
old I'm working on a script, the opening one of the season, which sort of sets up the return of the shadow. And I'm also working on one which is Stan's trial. And after we do this first cycle of 20, which we're quite kind of, as you can see, deeply involved in, we have an actual end to the whole series. Like, rather than just going on, we know what will happen in the last show. And you don't. We're not going to tell you. But it's actually quite cool.
I think the surprise ending could be the only way that you could describe it. It will be so surprising.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised. We're even surprised right now.
Yeah.
We'll be surprised if we get there, because some people don't entirely approve of what we're doing.
No. There are some people who, for some reason, feel that showing beautiful women in skimpy clothing is un-Canadian or something.
And squishy things.
Squishy things.
things.
And then when Time magazine decides to put us on the cover as an example of everything that's wrong with television,
then
that's when I'll know
that's success,
really made it.
Feels,
But what we should say in parting is thank you for watching.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for
watching.
And if you're ever in Halifax, come here. We're like the third igloo on the left. Come over, come out, and you can take us out for a drink.
And if you'll believe that, baby, you'll believe anything!
Oi.
Oi.
All right.